Hey everybody, it's John, just doing a review for Arrow Episode 4 Crucible. So just finished watching that today, and I really enjoyed what they're doing with the show. We get to see Oliver find out that Sarah wasn't dead and she's actually Canary. You see how Oliver's also trying to do good in the city uh, through his money and his business, as opposed to just by being the Arrow. Uh, like I said last review, I like that the business is still a big part of the show. They're not just kind of like letting him be like a billionaire and that's that. He has his money. He's obviously has his own issues going on with his company, but at the same time, he's still trying to make the city a better place. So he finds out that Sarah is actually alive and that she didn't die. Well, he knew that she didn't die on the boat. That we find out that he lied about that, but he did think that she had died later on. So he kind of just like let that be that. He didn't mention it to anyone else because like he says, he figured it was too painful because it was just 5 years of just bad things happening, and there was no reason to tell uh, Laurel and them that like she just had a shit time. And I understand that. I mean, if you've been through so much and you've seen so much, like there's no point in making someone like know that the person they loved experienced like such a terrible thing. But anyway, one of the coolest things I thought was when Sarah questions like what happened to Slade, and Oliver just like glosses over that. He's like, next question. Like he doesn't even want to like talk about that, which makes me wonder if Slade. I think he is, but if Slade's gonna come back later on in the show as Deathstroke, which would be awesome. But I don't know. They haven't really hinted too much at that right now. So this episode focused a lot on the mayor. He was the bad guy in this episode. I didn't really like him too much. I mean, he was a cliche gangbanger guy. He didn't really like have any special skill set or anything like that. He just had weapons and he was just distributing weapons throughout the city. And Oliver was not having that. And he's like, "We're gonna clean this up." So with his money, he goes and starts a gun drive thing where you give in your guns and we'll give you money, no questions asked or whatever, which was cool because it shows how he's really trying to clean up the city. Um, Him and Blood still are kind of bumping heads, but they're both trying to fix the city. So I mean that's that. Um, and then you get to see the mayor like fuck this whole situation up. Sin shows up and she's talking with Roy, um, and she gets shot. Roy obviously had some sort of like not connection, but they were good friends or something. So we might see something with them in the with them and their past. Um, and then after she gets shot and the whole gun drive thing is like messed up because of the mayor. Oliver's like, you know what? I'm really done with this. We're ending this night. Turns out there's gonna be a big shipment of guns, but they think they know where to go, and he recruits Canary to help him out. Uh, when they took down that whole thing, it was really cool to see like how they both could use each other's weapons. It shows that whole connection thing, and again, like the fact that they had a relationship before this, he turned into the Green Arrow and all that hints that obviously they're gonna have some sort of relationship later on. And if you read the comics or watch any of the animated stuff, you know that Green Arrow has a thing for Canary, and they get married and blah 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 blah. So I think their relationship's definitely gonna rekindle. And it looks like Lori isn't playing as large a role in Oliver's life anymore. It's more Oliver's just trying to like help her through this tough situation because she's lost so many people. She was taken by the doll maker, and she's not handling all this stuff so well. Um, but after they take down the mayor, I'm not really gonna go too much into that because it was just like a easy takedown thing. It was almost like one of the first like things that Oliver first mission things that Oliver had to do where he took down just regular thugs. There wasn't. there wasn't a lot of difficulty in them doing that. But the biggest part that happened there is Canary was gonna kill the mayor, and Oliver's like, he doesn't get to die. You don't get to do that. We have to do it a different way. And she doesn't kill him, um, which I liked. But one thing I've noticed with Canary's character, I get that they're trying to make her like ruthless and she's supposed to be tied with the League of Shadows and everything like that. I feel like her character is very much like the Huntress, where like she's kind of like plays by her own rules and kills people and stuff like that. Like she's not like the Canary that I am used to, but at the same time they're taking their freedoms with the characters and doing it. So I'm trying not to compare it too much to like comics and animated stuff that I've watched before. So I do like the characters. I like where they're going with it. And then at the end, and I said in the last video that I thought that Blood was going to be the like bad guy, the secret bad guy. Turns out he is. He has like some scarecrow mask thing kind of going on, and looked like he was trying to inject people with like some like venom serum, which he's apparently trying to build an army. So I'm interested to see where that goes. But yeah, he's on the DL like trying to do his own thing. I don't know how he's planning on saving the city through force or like through his army or whatever, but it doesn't sound like something that's gonna work. But it's nice to see that there's a larger thing going on under all this like nonsense that's going on around Oliver. So that's probably obviously going to be the big like bad guy. But we'll have to see like when Oliver figures this all out and what actions Blood takes and how Oliver's going to respond to that. It looks like Oliver has no idea that this is going on. So when it does like hit the fan, it's going to be really cool to see like Oliver dealing with all of the stuff that's going on. I'm thinking of anything. Deadshot's still a thing. They kind of touch upon that like very briefly though, so I don't know when that's going to actually be like in the forefront, but at least maybe get to see Deadshot later on, which is kind of cool. And Lori's got her issues that Oliver says to Sarah, like, you need to tell them that you're alive, because they can't deal with this without like some hope. So though he risks losing Lori and everything, he says it's worth it. And at the end, she takes his hand and everything like that. So we'll have to see if that actually plays out the way Oliver wants it to. But I'm really, really excited to see where this goes with what's going to happen with the next episode, because they didn't really hint too much on like what's next, unless Blood is going to be like the whole episode or whatnot. But I feel like that's going to be something that comes out a little bit later, because Blood's been such a huge part of the show from like the first 4 episodes. So we'll have to see with that. But overall, I really, really enjoyed this episode. I like what they've done with a lot of the characters. The story's progressing at a good speed. I just want to see what happens with Sarah, what Oliver does. Oliver's financial situation is kind of fucked. I hope that he can fix that situation, because obviously a lot of this stuff that's happening, like his Arrow escapades, are funded from either his company or his personal funds, so he needs to figure that out. And Diggs and Deadshot, let's see where that goes. All in all, good episode. Comment below. Tell me if you liked it. Tell me what you're hoping to see. Tell me what you didn't like. I'm definitely interested in hearing from that. I'll see you guys next week.